morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching me from. Welcome for the new subscribers. Welcome to Mama K Boys family. We love you. And how you guys doing? How is your week so far? You know, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, waiting for Friday, you know. So there's this question I asked on Facebook and everybody's waiting for the video. I'm sorry for delaying. I asked, what is the most challenging and difficult moment did you face when you started single parenting? And I had a lot of replies. You know, I'm proud of you guys. If there's somebody who hasn't told you that they're proud of you for being a single mom, for bringing those kids up, I want you to remind you that you're very special. I love you, I appreciate you, and you're doing a good job. And the seed that you're planting by bringing those kids up, you are gonna harvest it and you're gonna be proud. You know, in few years you're gonna be that queen, that king who is sitting down and looking at the years back and saying, may it not have been for God, my kids could not have been here. I stood up with my kids, I sacrificed for my kids, and I'm a proud parent. These kids are gonna be calling you, asking you, Mom, Dad, where are you? We have paid for your vacation. Mom, Dad, I'm graduating, I'm getting my PhD. Mom, I've been blessed, I have a family. And you're just gonna cry tears of joy, you know. And one thing I love about God is that He turns tears around, you know. He turns tears around. Like He turns tears of sorrow and tears of pain to be tears of joy. Isn't He a grateful God? You know, I always say it's not easy being a single parent. It's not easy at all. It's the most difficult job in the world. And that's why God made two people, for us to be helpers of each other. But now, because of things happen and the consequences, you know, people are divorcing, people are separating, and you have to bring up these kids by yourself. But guess what? You're not by yourself. You know, I'm one of you, and I'm a mom of 4 boys, you know, so I understand all of this thing. It's painful, you know. Some days are sad, some days are painful, some days are happy. You know, when these kids go to bed, you're lonely, you're by yourself. When it's end month, you're stressed because you have to meet your bills. You know, you try and do this 1 + 1 minus, they're not adding up, you know, because it's one paycheck. You know, your kids want to go for activity, your kids want to eat this, your kids want to go for vacation, your kids want to dress this kind of clothes, they want this shoe. And when you do your math, things are not adding up. And sometimes you're tired, you want to sleep, you don't want to go to work. But when you look back, you do not have a helper, so you have to get up and go to work. So you don't have a lot of choices as couples have, you know. Somebody who was a husband or somebody who was a wife have, you know. It's all about you. Like when you lose, your kids lose, you know. So the most difficult thing I faced as a single mom was the transformation of being married, now being single. You know, it was so painful. Guys, I used to sleep crying. My pillows used to be soaked of tears because a lot of things changed. A lot. When I say a lot of things changed, a lot of things changed. And what hurt me the most, it was not me. It was my children. You know, my kids learning and to accept that their dad is no more in their life. You know, my kids accepting that they will call their dad and the dad will not pick up their phone. My kids accepting seeing another woman in their dad's profile picture. You know, my kids seeing status of their father with another woman. It was so painful for my kids. And my kids used to do screenshots and they send it to me. And they ask me, Mom, who is this? Can you imagine you explaining to your firstborn who that woman is? You know, this is something that you cannot hide. It's out there, you know. this person, it's like now he's possessed. He's doing things with love. He's not thinking. And that's one of the things that I tell parents. Sometimes when you're doing something, when you're separating, when you're divorced, don't do things with emotions because of the love you have of the other person. Think about your children, Just think like you are dating, and you're dating as a father, and you're dating as a mother. There are things that you cannot expose to your kids. You have to tell the other person that you're dating, or your spouse, that I have kids. I need time. I need time for my kids to understand, and I need time for my kids to heal, for me to start posting you on social media. It's not wrong to move on. It's not wrong to start all over again. But how are you doing it? How are you doing it? And you dating when you have kids is different with a person who doesn't have kids, and especially this one, I'm talking for people who are married. When you're married and then you start dating, you start cheating, then you separate with the mother of your children, and then you start posting that person immediately. Like, guys, some things you gotta think. Love is stupid. And let me say love is stupid because you do things without thinking. You always think, or the other woman always think that she's doing things to hurt the mother of your children or your wife, because it's like a competition now. Because when a man cheats, it's a competition now of the side chick and the wife. That's the bitter truth, So this woman will put pressure on the man to be posted, or this woman maybe will take the phone when this man is sleeping and post her pictures. But I always say, remember that you are a woman, and one day you're gonna get kids, and the same pain you have caused another woman kids, your kids will pass through the same pain, or you will go through the same pain. Karma is real, innocent kid will not sleep crying and your kids to sleep happy. It doesn't work like that. I believe in God, I believe in prayer, and I believe, and it's written in the Bible, whatever you do, whatever you plant, you will harvest it. You cannot harvest what you have not planted. So my whole point is, that was the most difficult thing I ever faced as a parent. Leave alone like bills. Those are the things that, leave alone paying, like buying food, paying rent. Those are basic. Those are things that can change, Those are things, it's all about finances. Like, those are things that they can be fixed, and kids, it will not hurt anybody, Like, if the kids were used to eating bread, then there's no bread anymore. There's no enough money to buy bread. Kids are gonna, they're gonna flow and start eating something else. But they're not going to be hurt. The emotions is not going to be affected. Their heart is not going to be broken, But things about feelings is very sensitive. And as a parent, don't be selfish to your children. Separate your wife and your children. Because that is where most of the people, they don't know how to separate. Always remember, like, I met with this person, we didn't have kids, and we got kids. Very innocent kids that your blood runs in their vein. These kids, when the two of you are fighting, they're the ones who are getting hurt. But most people, they don't think on that fact. They always think that it is them. It's all about them. And that's why I say all this is total selfishness, So before you post that woman on your phone, before you change your profile picture and remove their mother, or remove these kids and put this new woman, take time. Give your children time to heal. Posting doesn't mean anything, but it can hurt your children and make those children to be very bitter with life. It can send your kids into this depression. It can make your children hate life. We are seeing kids committing early suicide It's just because of these things that is happening in their life. It grows, and it reaches a point that these kids can't take it anymore. Because parents, we have become very selfish with our lives, that we even forget about our children. We don't care about our children. We don't care how it feels. For example, me, if I start dating a man right now, I'm not going to accept that man to post me if he has kids. It's going to be a process. I'm going to want me and those kids to walk through that process together until the kids are comfortable with me, they're happy. Even when we are doing as a family. And when I talk about this, it's not that I've not been there. When I got married to the father of my children, he had 2 children. I raised two stepchildren, who I loved very much, and they loved me. They called me mom, until now I talk to them on the phone. And when I'm in Kenya, I see them. I love those children as my children. You know what? And what made me to love those children? I remember when I got married, my grandmother told me, listen, either these kids to be a blessing in your life or to be a curse in your life. These kids belong to this man. You have met this man with these children. You have to love these kids. These kids have to be part of your life. And when I gave birth to my firstborn, because my daughter, that time she wasn't living with me, she was living with a sister, I told him, now we have a family. We have a son. Didi has to come and live with us. And that's how she came to start living with me. Until today, my kids, they don't know if that is not their sister. My kids came to know that's not their sister when my kids are grown up, and when they did, they counted my age and my daughter's age, and they're like, Mom, it doesn't add up. Like, Didi's not your daughter. But my kids love their sister to death. They can take a bullet for their sister. And when I brought up Didi as my child, even when I met with the mom, there was no competition. Actually, the mom calls me Mama Didi. We'll meet in the village. I don't have any feelings. And she will call me Mama Didi. She'll be like, hi, Mama Didi. How are you doing? Thank you so much for taking care of my daughter. Actually, she will not even say taking care of my daughter. She'll be like, hi, Mama Didi. How is Didi doing? Thank you so much for taking care of her. How is school? And I'm like, Didi is doing well with school. Then she would ask me, will you take tea? What do you want to eat? And she would serve me. Why? Because we respected each other. And there was no competition between me and her. And when I entered in that relationship, it was over. And there's no way I'll bring the difference between children, or I start hating kids. Because if I love the man, I have to love the kids too. The kid that I cannot accept is the kid that has come like when I'm married. But the kid that I've found in that marriage, I need to take care of them. So women, the women who are dating married men, when you date a married man, know that he has kids, and know these kids, they're very delicate. And think if it's you, who is your dad to do that to you, how would you feel? How do you feel when you wake up and find that you have been your dad has put another woman on his WhatsApp status? Your dad has changed his profile. So, I know you want to be loved. I know it's a competition. But think before you do something. And remember what you do, what you plant, you're going to harvest it. The pain that you're giving another woman, the pain you're giving those kids, it will come back to you. When you get those kids, remember, your kids will pay for that. It's not me, it's written in the Bible. I'm not judging you, but it's God who has written that in the Bible. So, think of your actions and think what you do. Do not be blinded by love, okay? I love you so much, and I'll continue with this episode. Bye-bye. God bless you, and please remember to subscribe, share, and click that notification bell so that you'll be the first one to receive our video. Bye. Love you.